Dear Melissa, I'm a newer listener, just started as a first product data analyst at my company. There's so much missing in the product organization. I gave my chief product officer your book, Product Operations, to start. How can my leadership help me be successful? So, if you're just starting out with product operations, you're not alone. Many companies are where you're at, where they don't have a lot of infrastructure, they don't have many things stood up as processes or standardizations or tools in product management. So, if you are a new product data analyst, your most important job is to help solve problems and answer questions for product managers and product leaders. And you should do that as quickly as possible. So, what you could do is work with your chief product officer to understand what their biggest needs are when it comes to being able to set strategy, understand what's going on in the organization, what are you building, how is it rolling up the strategy, what the progress is, and to be able to monitor that and communicate back to leadership. So, that's one of the biggest gaps that are usually existing in organizations. Having transparency into what we're doing and how that's actually going to amount to driving business results and customer value. You as a product data analyst have big shoes to fill here. Now, what's good is you should start with working with your CPO and talking to them about what questions that they have, but also what the rest of the executives have. A good place to start is by solving their problems. Help the executives answer the questions that they need out of product to be able to do their jobs. And their jobs are going to be able to align the rest of the teams, make sure that you're road mapping correctly, make sure that you're projecting and understanding the business trajectory, what you're delivering, when you're delivering, how things will grow. All of those questions usually come back to something that you can help with as a product data analyst. You're going to take those questions and you're going to try to figure out what's the best way to display this information. And then this is the most important part. How do I make that repeatable? So you might go in there and do this all very manually, pull things out of systems, make all these views the first time around, but then you want to make sure that you're automating it so you can check that off your list and say, I now have a repeatable way to get these people information. I solved their problem, it's at their fingertips, and I can move on to the next problem. Other problems you're going to be looking at: how do I streamline data across the organization? You might be working with other data capabilities. Maybe you have developers who have a data team. Maybe you're working with sales ops and looking into their data. Go around the organization and try to figure out what's the type of data that our product managers need to be successful. And think about how you build repeatable systems. And what you want to do is work with your CPO to help them, to explain to them that these types of systems, these types of databases that you're going to implement, these types of tools are going to help the product managers make decisions faster, which will ultimately allow you to deliver on those strategies faster and to correct course if you're going in the wrong direction. So, your job as a product data analyst is to think about how do you scale this successfully, not just how you do one off queries for people, but how do I solve these problems for these teams in a repeatable fashion? You want to make sure that your chief product officer understands that you're there to aid them. You want to make sure that they're giving you the time to bring transparency to you about what types of questions people have. And then you want to go back and forth and make sure that you're building great products and internal tools basically for them. That's how your CPO can help you be successful. And they can also help take those things that you are building and level them up to the executives, right? Show them the good work you're doing so you get more buy-in to go do this further. So they should be advocating for you, they should be using your work hopefully, and they should be talking about it with other executives who might find it useful so that you get more and more buy-in to go out there and do good work. Definitely start with solving the executives' problems first. That's going to give you the visibility you need in the organization to then roll that out into other places. Hope that helps. If you have more questions for me, go to dearmelissa.com and let me know what they are.